What is popping in your lives today? Iracing here again with another race recap for the Iracing World of Outlaws Thrustmaster Sprint Car Series. I'll be going over the action from Race 4 held at Lincoln Speedway on Monday, December 4th. We will highlight all the action from the heats to the feature, and once again talk to series driver Tanner Miller. Looking into heat racing action, in heat race number 1 we saw Alex Bergeron start on pole looking for revenge after a tough outing last week, but was not able to do so as he crashed on lap 4 of the heat, sending him to the LCQ. Defending winner at Lincoln Speedway, Kenny Miller was able to take the heat win. Tyler Schell got second, third place was JD Brown, fourth Nathan Bandywacker, and fifth Clayton Davies. In heat race number 2, we saw Joey Lindgren steal a win from Hayden Cardwell as he crashed into the inside wall going through turn 3 after leading the first 7 laps of the heat. Second place was James Eden. He was fighting for the transfer spot for most of the race, was able to get up to second. Third place Tyler Ducharme, fourth Blake Majulis, and fifth was Braden Eiler. In heat race number 3 saw early controversy as Noah Carpenter sent in a haymaker and took him and Kendall Tucker out of the fight for second place and into the LCQ. This made Logan Rumsey's life easy as he had a huge lead and took the win. Second place was Aiden Forrester, third Tanner Pettit, fourth Mason Hannigan, and fifth was Lane Snook. Heat race number 4 saw point leader Evan C. get into trouble and end his heat. Ryan Avila was able to top Timothy Smith for the final heat of the night in a thriller. In third, we had Sean English, fourth place was Cameron Pritchard, and fifth was Garrett Halsey. The first LCQ of the night saw great racing as Alex Bergeron moved his way up to second within the first 5 laps coming from the back. He was able to take the lead as well and win LCQ number 1. Second place, the other driver transferring was Clayton Davies, third place Casey Simons, fourth Lane Snook, and fifth Matt Powell. For LCQ number 2, Evan C., the points leader, started in the back and had to work his way into the show. Braden Eiler and Garrett Halsey put on a show battling side by side, keeping everyone out of the transfer spots. Halsey was able to prevail and take the second LCQ of the night. Braden Eiler followed right behind him, third place Hayden Cardwell, fourth Kendall Tucker, and fifth Kenny Hoffman. Kenny Miller and Joey Lindgren led the field of green for the feature. Rumsey quickly moved into second and looked strong at his home track. On lap 7, Tyler Schell sent in a slider for third, but Lindgren was able to cut back and keep the spot. Alex Bergeron was slicing his way through the field as well, trying to recover from his earliest misfortunes in the heat race, as he got to 11th by halfway. A yellow came out with 18 to go as Clayton Davies overdrove turn 1 and flipped, ending his night. This did give the chance for Rumsey to have a shot at race leader Kenny Miller. Miller got a good jump and pulled out ahead once again. Lindgren was able to fight Rumsey and Miller for the lead with 6 to go, but could not get around either, and Kenny Miller was able to steer clear of everything behind him and take the win at Lincoln Speedway 2 years in a row. Looking at the top 10, second place was Logan Rumsey. He's driving with one hand and a sling. Pretty impressive stuff out of him. Third place, Joey Lindgren looked mighty fast. Fourth place was Aiden Forrester. He was sitting back, had the best seat in the house, and stuck for a nice top 5 finish. Fifth, Ryan Avila. Sixth place, Tyler Schell. 7th, Timothy Smith. James Edens was in 8th. 9th place was Alex Bergeron. He jumped his way through the field. Incredible to watch out of him. 10th place, JD Brown. And the points after tonight, the point standings have been looking crazy. The first few races we just saw Alex Bergeron pulling away. But here we have Ryan Avila with 249 points. Second place with a great top 5 finish tonight is Aiden Forrester. Third place, 20 points back, is Tyler Schell. He is closing in there, the one-time champion. Fourth place, James Edens, 21 points back. In fifth place, Logan Rumsey got himself back up to fifth and is only 32 points back now. All right, Tanner, we're happy to have you back on the show tonight to discuss things. But first things first, happy birthday, man. Great day. Wish the race would have been a little better for you, but happy birthday nonetheless.
Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Awesome. Now, getting into the race tonight, how's the track tonight from what you saw? It seemed like the first heat race and other heat races, a lot of haymakers being thrown. Just seemed like a little chaotic. So what did you see on your end?
Yeah, I mean, I think the track was super tacky in the beginning. It's going to cause one-line racing, right? I think it was decent racing. I thought it was a little classier, than what I thought it would be. I don't have an issue with anybody. It kind of sucked in the heat race there. I slipped up a little bit, got into the driver in front of me, right? And that cost me the difference between either getting a transfer spot or starting first in the B main and, kind of ruined the rest of the night. So it kind of sucked on that end.
Yeah, it seemed like a lot of guys just It seemed like pack racing, like watching a race at Daytona for the most part. I mean, everybody was sticking pretty close together, and it was crazy to watch. I think the fourth heat race, we didn't see like any incidents, which was just crazy because other races,
Yeah.
it just very quickly things were happening. So tough night
Hmm.
for some people as well. Unfortunately, you got caught up in that. But let's
Yeah.
switch topics to a little bit more of a positive note. Just looking back to your rookie season, what were some moments or stories that kind of stuck with you and shaped you into the driver you are today?
Yeah, man, I think it's crazy. I didn't think I'd ever be pro. I linked up with my spotter, my coach now, Chad, and he kind of put everything together. And next thing you know, I'm working with Alex Bergeron. And, funny story actually, last year, so we were originally supposed to run Bristol, right? I think it's like
Mhm.
week 4 or 5 at that point. But Lincoln just came out 2 weeks prior. So everybody gets on, they're trying to test out Lincoln because it was a curveball. It's like the week or two before, right? And I think it's Sunday night before the race, and I'm getting ready to head off. It's like probably midnight, and I get like a phone call, right?
Mhm.
And it's Alex Bergeron. I'm tired at this point, and I'm getting ready to get off. And Alex is like, hey, let's hop on and let's run for an hour. And I ran an hour with him, and that was a really cool moment. Excuse me, cool moment. You don't deny a call from Alex, right? And
Absolutely.
that ended up being our best week of the year, right? For only top 10 of the year, qualified well, got second in the heat race. So that was a pretty cool moment in the pro series. And the funny thing is, this year I wasn't even going to run at all. They came out with the new build. I'm sure you heard him talk about it in the interview, right?
Mhm.
And when I was like, if I don't do well in Knoxville, I'm probably not going to do it, right? So I had to qualify all 5 nights in Knoxville because I sucked in the first 4 and make it into the show for Saturday on the last night, right?
Mhm.
And ended up starting in probably like ninth or 10th. Was running second or third at one point in that race. Ended up getting 7th, and I was like, I guess I'll try this pro thing one more time. And we had a much better year in the qualifiers. So that's kind of been the journey so far. Just fighting to get in each year, and it's really weird this year. Volusia and Weedsport, my worst 2 tracks, and those are the only 2 shows I made, right? And I grew up in PA, going to the Grove in Lincoln, and we unfortunately don't make it in both weeks. So kind of a weird year so far, but still aiming for that top 15 if we can figure something out. Fortunately, we get a break this year in between in the season, I think, for Christmas and New Year's. So we got a lot of work to do at this point, but it's been a fun journey so far.
Yeah, it definitely seems like it's been a little bit of a backwards year from compared to what we were talking about before the season. But now
Yeah.
looking in your dark horse, we were just talking about it, Aiden Forster, still looking strong, got a fourth place finish and is second in points right now.
Yeah, man. I try to tell people like you got to watch out for him, right? He's always there. He doesn't make mistakes. I think he's probably one of the more conservative drivers out of Speed Shop, and they race very clean, very hard. But he seems like he's conservative, and he's putting himself up front every week. So I see he's sitting in second in points right now, and don't be surprised. All I gotta say, I think he has a really really good chance at winning it all. Don't forget about Bergeron though, man. What was that, 18th to ninth or something like that?
Bergeron's just an
So
animal, man. You can never count him out, that's for sure.
yeah, man. He pulled a move on me in the B main, and I was like, oh, like didn't see that coming, right? So yeah, watch out for Bergeron, but it's cool to see Aiden up there running well as well.
Good deal, good deal. And any last second shout outs you got for your supporters?
Yeah, man. Shout out to you, obviously, for covering the pros this year and everything else you do for sprint car racing. Shout out to the Buck Stops here, Aces Up Sim Sports, Process of Illumination, STR, the whole gang, Bruce, Scott, Ryan, Chad, Cooper, everybody there. And shout out to Hayden Cardwell this week. He ran some laps with us this week and kind of helped us out. So shout out to him as well.
Good deal, good deal. And thanks for having you on the show. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure to tune in next week. We're going to be covering I-55. It's going to be an absolute chaos. Hopefully not a nightmare for you, and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I hope so. Thanks, man. I appreciate it.